Okay, we are recording. Hello, people who will be watching in the future, because Lisa's the only one here today with us. Leela here, Naomi there, Lisa down there, and I don't remember what call it is because we skipped a week. So, welcome to maybe call 8.
Welcome to April.
Welcome to April. How's it been?
Good.
How has your asking been? That's what I really want to know about.
Had a really interesting ask, and God bless my half side. I love this about him. He's so supportive in everything I do, and I was telling him about something day before yesterday, and he's like, well, that would be perfect for your year of ask with Leela. And I'm like, I love it. I love it. So he's right. So I was having coffee with a girlfriend of mine. We're in a direct sales company together. It's a side thing for me. It's a full-time thing for her. And one of the things that particular company does is if, say, Leela's like, oh my God, my friend needs to do this, and sent them to me, the company would gift Leela with something. It's really actually very cool. Well, I had sent someone back to my friend because they wanted to buy something I had. And I'm like, I know that they know this person. And so I'm like, go back to her. Go back to my friend, buy from her. Well, not only did they buy, they ended up signing into the company. And I'm like, so do I get that referral thing because it's sparkly and it's pretty and I freaking want it? But I wasn't going to say anything.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to say anything. No, because, I'm already in the company. So blah, 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 blah. I'm like, this is my year of ask. So I'm like, so even though I'm a consultant, since I sent her back to you, do I still get that sort of referral reward? She's like, well, I don't know. Let me find out. So I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't going to ask. I wasn't going to ask for it because I'm already in the company. There was all this chatter.
Yeah.
This is my year of ask. And it was weird how it felt uncomfortable. Whereas some of my other asks, it's been like, hey, I got this thing. Who's going to help? Where can I get? Who's going to give?
So where was the discomfort?
This is a really strange connection, but it's the same feeling I used to get. Raise your hand if you have, Lisa, do you have Costco up there in Canada? Okay, so we got Costco's everywhere. And they have the little food people who do the samples. And when I was younger, if I would go into the store with, say, my mom or my grandma, and it would be, I'd want to try it, but there was always this weirdness about it, and I felt like I shouldn't.
Okay.
Which is, now as an adult, I'm like, well, that's dumb because that's their whole purpose there. And I understand marketing now. And so part of it is they're trying to sell you their stuff. And if you try it, you love it, you buy it.
Yeah.
So, but there was just this weirdness of feeling greedy if you take it. And that's what showed up on Monday because A, I'm in the company. B, I can host an event and get, 10 of them. I can do it myself is kind of behind it. I can do it myself, so let's not be greedy and take advantage of their referral program. It's like, but they have a referral program. It shouldn't matter who that person comes from because I didn't have them sign up under me. I sent them back to my friend who is doing this as a full-time gig because they know her. But it's like, so it's not being greedy to take advantage of a program that they have in place for a reason. Shouldn't matter to me that, okay, but I'm a consultant too. No, who cares? Who cares? Right? So there was this greedy piece. Shouldn't be greedy.
Oh, why can't we be greedy?
Well, and I think greed, it's that whole, for me, it's the conversation between being selfish and self-centered. Because being selfish is not taking anybody else into consideration at all. Whereas being self-centered is putting care on myself. For me, greedy is not caring caring about anybody else. And so for me, asking for that isn't being greedy, but that's the feeling. So for me, there's a different definition of greedy for me. It's my internal representation is greedy is bad because greedy is selfish and greedy doesn't take anybody else into consideration and takes more than. And recognizing that isn't taking more than. They've said this is our program. This is simply taking advantage of something that exists.
Yeah. Huh. So what are we going to do with that?
I asked. So I'm celebrating the fact that I'm like, you know what? This is how I felt, but I'm asking anyway.
Yay!
So, and then we started brainstorming. What was great is we started brainstorming, well, if that doesn't work for the company and we have the situation come up again, how do we work within that so that somebody gets rewarded and it's still within company policy?
That's super juicy.
Yeah. Yeah. So it ended up becoming a really great brainstorming how could this work?
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Yeah. So it ended up working out. And I think the greedy piece, I'm going to end up doing some journaling on it because I'm curious now, where else might that be showing up?
Yeah.
In what I do or don't ask for. What might, how might it come through when I am asking? And I see that could potentially be a really big block just energetically if there's this conversation of, ooh, but if I ask that, it's going to be greedy and
I see that.
Right? Because energetically that'll come through then. Will you join my program? Will you buy my stuff? Oh my God, I don't want to be greedy. And it's weird because that really isn't a thought when I talk to people about you got invaders.
No, I don't know where the phone is. So if it rings, I didn't turn the ringer off.
It'll just be background music. It's all good. I thought maybe you had somebody joining you. When I'm talking to people about my programs, there isn't a conversation of greed. So it's just strange to me how and where it does show up. Why would it show up somewhere like that? And I don't know what the answer is yet.
Expectations ? So like there is an expectation that I'm already a consultant, so I don't get like preconceived notions. I'm already a consultant, so I don't get the gift. Instead of just being open to all possibilities.
I'm going to say that's a yes and. Because as I think of that for myself, I think that would have simply had me just kind of bypass it without even I don't think there would have been the greed energy behind it. I think that just would have been an assumption, like we talked about when I spoke a few weeks ago and the person said you've got 5 to 7 minutes. Instead of my asking for clarification, I just went, okay, I can take my 10-minute speech and shove it down into 7 minutes. I can do that because I am a trained speaker. I know how.
Yeah.
There wasn't any, in that moment, there wasn't any energy behind that other than, okay, I can make this happen. And I think it would have been that same thing. It would have just been like, oh, I'm a consultant, so therefore that, it's sort of that if you were a family member, work for this company, you can't be part of the sweepstakes kind of thing. I would have assumed that and just moved on.
Got it. Okay.
But because but I really want that. No, that's really greedy. You're a consultant. But because that conversation happened, I don't think it was necessarily the preconceived notion. I'm going to have to play with that, though.
Okay.
That's what almost that, as well as the feeling, is part of what almost kept me from asking, period, though, because I would make that assumption.
Yeah.
I'm a consultant that doesn't qualify. Why wouldn't it, though? Because I could have had her sign up under me and I would have gotten all sorts of other bonuses.
Yeah. Yep.
But I did what to me is the right thing in that type of a business and sent her back to the person I know she knows.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know.
Oh, I know.
That greed piece, though, I think that greed piece and there's a deserve part to that. Because if I'm feeling like I'm being greedy, in that instance, I wasn't. It's not like I was taking stuff from other people, right?
Right.
So getting to explore where's the deserve and why isn't it okay to ask for what we want. Now, I ended up doing it, so yeah, like you did. I'm going to do little yay hands. But yeah.
Deaf clapping.
Right?
Lisa, do you have any input?
I was going to say, I know Lisa's got some stuff ruminating.
I actually, well, one, really want to know what the bright shiny thing is, because I'm like, ooh, bright shiny thing. What is it?
Touchstone jewelry by
bright shiny thing.
Touchstone crystal by Swarovski. It's sparkly, fabulous, amazing jewelry.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it was an ice bracelet. It's a bracelet that's like $90 normally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I want 20 of them.
All the way up one arm.
Exactly. Yeah, I want a wrist party. I want a wrist party in every freaking color. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my sparkle arm.
That's right. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm like, I have anything really insightful to say. I was listening and thinking, oh, damn, I've so been there.
Oh, I'm not alone. So I'm going to do some more of that.
You know you're not alone.
No. No, I think it's something that we don't talk about.
True. So I did a fun thing yesterday.
Yes.
Mercury retrograde struck at the DMV. They took my picture 7 times. 7. Because the computers would not talk to each other. So in the one computer, my driver's license file was under my married name. In the computer that takes my picture, my driver's license file was under my maiden name. It said that the files had been merged, but it wouldn't pull it up under my married name. So every time she thought she had it fixed, she had to take my picture again. So we think it's all done. I take the written test. I get in the line to renew my sticker because I'm already in the DMV. So let's renew the sticker. And then it hits me. I'm gonna get to the front of this line and they're gonna call my name for the driving test. and it happens. Get to the front of the sticker line. Simmons! And they take my picture again. But it works this time. So we do the on the road. Get back and I say, would you mind walking me to the front of the sticker line? And she says, oh, sure. And I went, yay.
Was this a dream or was this real?
It's completely legit now. I got 1,100 steps at the DMV yesterday, so it really wasn't that easy. But I did, like, we get back there and I get to go back inside and get my actual temporary license and get my sticker. And I'm like, I do not want to stand in that long fucking line again. Just ask the lady to walk you to the front, but I don't want to. Just ask her. Okay, fine. To which she replied, sure. And then she stood there while I ran back out to the car to get my wallet, because of course it wasn't in my bag. It slid off the seat when I threw my stuff in the car. But that was actually really awesome because that was one of my nevers. I was inboxing with Lisa about things that I would never ask for, and like a previous incarnation of Leela never would have asked to be walked to the front of a line. Like, you left the line, you lost your space, you get back in the back. Nope, not today. And then the thing is, like, what's the worst thing that can happen? She can say no. Well, if she says no, I get at the back of the line. If I don't ask, I get at the back of the line. Best case scenario here, I don't have to get at the back of the line. So that was pretty juicy. I'm sure there was more, but that one was recent, so I'm excited about it.
Well, and it's that, and we've talked about this before, it might not seem like a huge ask. You know, you didn't just ask somebody to gift you a $2 million home on the beach, you know, but why not? But it's relatively simple, but sometimes we've talked about the fact that sometimes those simple ones are the ones that we automatically dismiss. That we just automatically bypass. Oh, I'll just stand here at the back of the line.
Yeah.
You know, instead of asking.
Right.
Can I have a bag to put my stuff in when I check out? You know, the little ones. And they really are a lot more profound. I think part of it is just that adding up piece. Yay for you.
I don't know. So excited. What else is possible? Right? Lisa, you got a thing? Oh, no, you're clapping. Yay.
I was clapping for you.
Yay.
Except for I'm holding my phone. So if I was to let go, then you'd be like, whoa. I'd not realize I was clapping.
I love it. That's hilarious. Thank you. I appreciate the applause. So yeah, that's kind of all I got right now. No, wait, I lied. Did we talk about shopping in a video? Did we talk about the new dress? I talked about it in my Facebook Live. Okay, so the week that we did not do this, I did a Facebook Live about going to the mall with the honey, and he's shoe shopping, and I need yoga pants because mine have a giant hole in the back. I don't know how that happened. And we're walking past Express, and I see this dress, and I'm like, let's just go in here for a second. That's not normal because I don't like shopping. I look at it, and my brain is like, just try it on. So I try it on, and I love it. And he loves it on me. And then like, you are going to spend $50 on this dress. You actually are going to do it. It's a thing that's going to happen. Because I still have like broke girl brain, even though I no longer exactly have broke girl bank accounts. So I was like, you're buying this dress. Like, this dress is gorgeous. You feel amazing in it. Spring is around the corner. No matter what it looks like outside, buy the dress. And I, put it back on the hanger, come out with it, and he goes, do you love it? And I was like, yes. He goes, okay, I'll buy it for you. Do you want to get jeans too? And I went, why, yes, I do. But it wasn't an ask, but it was still super uncomfortable. Like, the first time he shopped for me, I was like, oh my God, don't buy too much things. And like he's not an adult who can say, you have hit your limit, lady. And what's gonna happen if he says that? Absolutely nothing. But my brain is like, we can't be too big, ask for too much. I'm still stretching beyond that, like, Lila's a tiny thing that I'm not sure if anybody but Naomi knows what I'm talking about. So I'll explain a little bit. When Naomi pokes around inside my head, when she does timeline therapy with me and other NLP magic that I don't understand, I just know that it works. A lot of the things that we run into is that I have a commitment to and a value for being small. And so I've been like stretching and expanding that. And the year of asking is part of stretching and expanding that, because I can do what Naomi said and I can do it myself, or I can ask for support. Asking for support is being bigger. It's taking up more space. It is asking others to maybe be inconvenienced for me. Nobody wants to do that. Except usually when I ask, it's not an inconvenience. Yeah, I know. It's been fun dismantling that one. So, new dress, new jeans, new yoga pants.
Wins all around.
I know. And new asking muscles. That probably led into, hey, will you walk me in the front of the line?
Right?
Yeah. So, do you have any planned asks coming up?
My planned asks always revolve around my business. So I'm trying to, not trying, because trying is BS. I am Yoda. Exactly. Wise little motherfucker.
Chewing my smoothie.
Paying attention to where I am or am not asking in from a personal aspect, because the business aspect is easier. Like my detox starts on Monday. I have so many more people happy about doing a detox now than say, you know, at Thanksgiving time. Go figure. Nobody wants to detox during the holidays. What's wrong? I don't know why not.
It's spring.
Right? And everybody's feeling it. And so it hasn't been a problem for me to step out and ask. It hasn't been a problem for me to step out and ask those who have signed up, hey, you know, who do you know who wants to come along on this journey with you? Asking in my business is getting easier. There are parts and pieces about the back end of my business that I'm seeing there could be some improvement and growth on. I've got somebody who is going to be doing some of my writing coming up. She's obviously, you know, luckily she speaks very much in my voice. And so when it will be a good blend of the pieces I write and the pieces she writes, we'll be able to weave them together very nicely. But she's going to be helping me with that. Or when I have some ideas down, she's going to help really clean up spelling, punctuation, grammar, all that crap. So that's really great. Now, the thing is, she came and asked me because she's starting this business instead of me asking her. However, I think sometimes agreeing to these things, it's the opposite side. Are we willing to step out and help someone who's asking?
Mm-hmm.
Sort of the flip side of it.
Right.
But it's all been around business.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
It's all been around business. So where would you like to stretch into asking in your personal life?
Well, I did, as I think about that one conversation that came up that was business related, I did a return ask that was personal for me. So one of the people that I network with wants to understand my business better so they can be a better referral partner.
Okay.
And they asked if I would be willing to do a discount. What they don't know is in that particular group of people, I already do offer a discount. And so that he could just really understand better from an experiential standpoint what I do.
Yeah.
Now, this person is fit as fit. They don't need my nutrition help. They got that shit dialed in, right? But as you know, there's other stuff I do.
Yeah.
And figure that's probably the direction we're going to go. And then I stopped and thought about it. And it's like, okay, I'm speaking in a month on stage of 100, you know, in a group of 100 women. Vanity shows up. And my ass is so happy that it's spring detox time. Because it's like I'd like a little bit more in shapeness than, you know, I got going on right now. I'm feeling a little bloaty and a little like everybody else is in spring. So I'm like, well, would you be willing to barter services and kick my ass around the gym? Because he's an amazing functional personal trainer. He's like, yeah, I'd be open to that. So for me, that aspect was an ask for a personal piece, even though he started the conversation around business. And it's a win-win all the way around because now I understand how he trains people also better. So
that's a phenomenal ask too. I can see that completely being out of comfort zone.
how so? Say more about that.
Maybe for me, because I typically would have taken his offer, but not like counter offer. Even if I thought about it, I would have talked myself out of it, I think.
Okay. For me, I don't typically ask someone for a barter, but if someone asks me for my service and it's a service, they have a service or product I want, then I will counter with barter. But I don't typically barter with people because it tends to be very messy and it's very rarely an even thing. And I just won't typically barter. But the fact that he was willing to pay me, wanted my services, it was like, wait a minute. We have an opportunity because he's somebody who, he's over here on the side where it's like, okay, at some point, I know I'm hiring DJ.
Yeah.
To kick my ass around the gym. That time is not right now. But it's like, it was just perfect. So it's interesting. You won't counter. What do you think is behind that?
I don't want to be wrong.
Cross your mind at all, or?
I don't want to be wrong. So I worked on clearing that last week. I wonder if that would be different now.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a huge part of my job hatred.
Ooh, can I shout out for you?
Yeah.
So that was another ask you had. You were stuck in some stuff and wanting to blow up the world. Oh no, that was me wanting to blow up the world last week.
No, I just wanted to quit all of my jobs and live on.
Right. Right. I wanted the thunderbolt and lightning to throw at the planet, but
we settled on pool noodles.
Yes, pool noodles instead. So huge ask. You were having this moment of, I hate my jobs. I'm grateful I have work, but I hate my jobs. I'm quitting them all. They all suck right now in this moment. And you reached out. You said, hey, can you just be an ear?
Yeah.
And that was, what does that mean?
Thank you, because that was huge, because I have a lot of this person's busy chatter. And so even if I think like, oh, call Naomi, most of the time I'll text you first and be like, hey, are you free? Is there? But I was just like, I got 10 minutes and I'm going to push my manager down the stairs. That's kind of how I felt.
Disclaimer, Leela would never do that.
And then I walked. No, I like my sovereign choices. And oh, hey, look, Zoom said stop it. I like my sovereign choices, and being in prison would limit those greatly. So no, there would be no pushing the manager down the stairs. Now, walking around with the image of beating her in a pool noodle in my head, that worked. We have Naomi to thank for this.
Got to get that emotion out some way.
It worked so well. And then when I got home, I did some clearing. I was trying to figure out why I was upset. For those of you who are like, what the hell are you and Naomi talking about? I didn't get a promotion that I was after. And that led to what I like to call emotional gumbo. Because I was mad, sad, happy, what the fuck? All at the same time. And I couldn't figure out why I was devastated. Like, I take bad news well. Like, oh, that happened? Okay, cool. What's next? Is my typical response. But I was like crying in the car on the way to pick up the food, mad all night, crying when I woke up the next morning, completely upset about this thing, and I didn't understand why. And there was this component of feeling like I had done something wrong, because the person who did get the position, who the rest of the world felt wasn't qualified for the position, was better prepared for her interview than the two very qualified people were. And that's how she got the gig. So that translated in my head to I did something wrong. Completely irrational, which is how you know you're triggered, ladies and gentlemen. So I did some work around not wanting to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong sometimes, even though I wasn't wrong in that experience at all. Even if I had been, that's okay too. So that was pretty juicy. And it involved an ask. Thank you, Naomi.
You're welcome.
For the pool noodling. I don't have deliberate asks at the moment. I'm going to be working on those.
Cool.
What about you, Lisa?
Well, I have a funny story to tell you about, because I reached out to Leela. I was like, Leela, oh my goodness, my receiving muscles have somehow went flaccid. And I get really uncomfortable about receiving different things. And sitting across the table, if you guys know Kimberly Lynn Pollard, she's literally on the other side of the table. I won't put her on video this time because I've done that enough times in the last week. But so I've noticed as we were talking, because we had a mountain getaway last week and found out like, wow, I'm really awkward around receiving. And it feels like if I'm asking, like I should just do it all on my own. It's one thing for me to help all the time, everybody, and go all in the helping. But if I ask you to help, then there's something wrong with me, that I should just do it all on my own, that there's like, this is not, like, this is new, that this is this crunchy around it. I broke my arm in November and had to have people help me all the time. And then that injury just continued on. So it just feels like I've worn out my welcome on asking and receiving. And I was like, who knows about this? Leela, let's message Leela. Now, the funny story is I was like, okay, I'm conscious of this. I'm aware that this is happening. Yesterday, go to get fuel. Do you guys have full service gas stations there?
In New Jersey, but not in my land.
Okay.
Not over here, but we used to.
So one, my husband always fuels the car up. So like I don't fuel the car up. And when I do fuel the car up, I'd set non-full service gas stations because I don't even think that they exist. So yesterday when I jump out of the car to fuel up and I pay at the pump, because you either pay at the pump or pay inside, and I just only needed fuel, so pay at the pump was a perfect option. This guy appears out of nowhere. Like, I'm sure he was standing somewhere that I couldn't see. He didn't just like descend from heaven or anything. Yet he was like, okay, like, how can I help you? And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to pay at the pump. So instead of like letting him pump my fuel after I entered all my card information, I was just like, no, I got this. And I got in the car and I was already thinking it. Yet Kim was like, yeah, that was a nice, like,
I will not be receiving. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Kindly no to receiving. So that's been on my mind a lot lately. Like, thank you, universe, for such a blatant demonstration of my unwillingness to receive. I appreciate that. I'd like to make some shifts around it. So when you guys were talking about like what future asks are, I am going to ask Kimberly to help me on further defining my magic or what it is that I do, because I'm building out some really awesome intensives that I want to offer in a fun and playful way. And so that's an ask. And I'll ask the other Kimberly in my life as well to do the same thing. And that's where I'm at right now for what the asks will look like this week.
And she's going to follow up with Leela on her offer from last week.
Oh, yes. And I will follow up with Leela on my offer from last week. See, no resistance whatsoever.
None.
So that is where I'm at with things. And I'm super grateful. I did ask Leela, though. I reached out to Leela, and then so here we are. So there's one ask in the bank. Here I am. So.
Oh, Naomi, no, it won't.
Okay.
Naomi sent me a message. I can't type and talk, so no. No. I think we're good though.
Yeah. I think that the point that Lisa is bringing up is it really does go with the asking, because if we're unwilling to receive, it's sort of that flip side of the coin. If we're unwilling to ask and starting to think about it, and Leela, it was what you said earlier that has me looking at it this way, because I haven't been up to this point. And then hearing what you're saying, Lisa, is when I say no to someone else's offer to help, am I not allowing them their gifting and learning around asks?
Yep.
Will that shut down their asking? So profound stuff, you guys. Yay.
Maybe not shut down their asking, but definitely interfere with their ability to receive.
Yeah.
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 I think especially if the no is automatic.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like rather than like, thank you, but no thank you, because I really don't need that book of fairy tales that you're trying to gift me. Like give it to somebody else. Like that's different.
Yeah.
Than like, no, gosh, no. Like
No, I got this myself. I can do it myself.
I have
I'm
hands.
a grown-ass woman. I can pump my own gas. Yeah.
right? And it was just like, oh, I don't want to inconvenience them because they'd have to wait the 4 minutes for me to input my information to pay for the fuel that they were going to pump. Like, he stood there waiting for me to hand over the pump. And I was just like,
Oh, my pump.
right.
So flinging wide the doors on receiving
to kick us
and
off.
being willing to ask.
Say that again.
Flinging wide the doors on receiving. The doors being your arms, I guess, really.
I like that being the end of the video, because Zoom's going to kick us off in a second.
Right? Yay, exactly. I'm so glad you joined us, Lisa.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Come back next week.
All right.
Yeah.
I shall actually. Looks
Awesome.
like it.
Bye, ladies.
All right. Thanks, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.